You know what I love about hiking day after day after day is that you start appreciating things in ways you otherwise wouldn't. When most people think about a long distance hike, they imagine the big moments, the mountain summits, the dramatic sunsets, the iconic landmarks. And don't get me wrong, those things are incredible, but after a few weeks out here, something begins to change. You start finding joy in smaller things, a trail that's soft underfoot, a section that's gently downhill, a stretch of shade at exactly the right moment, cold water, a place to sit, a place to stop, a place to simply be. Today began amongst forests and mountain views, the kind of scenery that would be a highlight of a weekend hike back home, but has somehow become part of everyday life out here. And maybe that's the strange thing about the trail. What would once have felt extraordinary slowly becomes normal. Not because it becomes less beautiful, but because beauty becomes part of the rhythm of my day. Later that afternoon, Skidoo and I sat overlooking a golden valley of grass and pine needles as the sun slowly dropped through the trees, one of our many trail safety meetings. No rush, no schedule, no notifications, no reason to leave, just sitting, watching, and appreciating. And I realized how much I loved that feeling, because that's what I do all day out here. I walk through beautiful places, and every few hours something catches my eye and invites me to stop. A view, a tree, a creek, a sunset, something worth paying attention to. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like I actually have the time to pay attention. The following day brought something we'd been craving for weeks: water. Not just a water source, enough water to enjoy, enough water to swim, and enough water to linger. After spending so much time crossing dry hillsides and baking in the desert heat, arriving at Holcomb Creek felt like discovering a hidden oasis. We dropped our packs, we jumped in, we cooled off, and for a little while nothing else mattered. One thing I'm learning about the desert is that it makes you appreciate abundance. When water is scarce, every creek feels precious. When shade is rare, every tree feels generous. When comfort is limited, even the simplest things can feel luxurious. As we continued towards Deep Creek, the landscape opened up around us. From above, we could see water winding through the valley below, life threading its way through an otherwise harsh landscape. As always, the wildlife wasn't far behind. A squirrel darting through camp, a hummingbird hanging effortlessly in the air, a kingsnake making its way through the brush. And later a rattlesnake, reminding us that we were very much visitors in its home. Moments like these have a way of bringing you back to the present. You stop thinking about miles, you stop thinking about tomorrow, and you simply pay attention. The trail has a way of teaching that lesson over and over again. Slow down, look around, notice what's here, because while the big moments are memorable, they're not what make up most of this journey. Most of it is made of smaller moments: a swim in a creek, a conversation with a friend, a good campsite, or a beautiful view. And somewhere along the way, those small moments start to feel like the whole point.